we changed the tagline. So I just want to make sure we don't run into that. I conceptually don't have a problem with this. I just want to make sure that we don't have the wrong tagline on the signs.
From my understanding, the Marketing Communications Committee does not have it as a priority to review the tagline, and they have put that on hold. They've not specified a timeline of which they're going to come back to review it.
Who is this marketing committee? It's us and our partners. I mean,
Correct. So the Marketing Communication Advisory Committee is actually made up of,
I guess I understand. I'm just saying, I don't understand if we're saying we want to purchase signs in the next 4 months and they're saying it's not a priority. I mean, I guess we could do our own focus group, right? I mean, it doesn't have to come from the marketing committee. Yes.
Trustee McCullough-McKay,
Oh,
can I make a comment?
sure.
In the previous discussions, this has been budgeted for a couple of years. There was never any discussion of putting a tagline on the sign as part of the design. So maybe it's not something that we need to actually consider as part of this proposal.
Okay. Mark, did you have something?
Are the taglines on the signs or not? I thought they weren't on there.
Right, that was my understanding, is that they would not be on there.
Well,
It says it in the
for
picture.
the picture in the packet, it shows it. But, well, one does and one doesn't.
Well, one's for Hubbard Park, the other one's the entrance sign.
No, but if you scroll down, there's another one. Oh, that's from the different.
Yeah, this is
vendor.
2008. 18, I'm sorry.
it could simply say, "Welcome to Shorewood."
Yeah. Which is what we did in, it looks like in 2016.
I mean, so this is a purchase over 10,000, right, potentially? And I don't know, and maybe Mark, you can answer this. I have two concerns, but, do we need to RFP it, or do we just call back an old estimate from two years ago and ask for updates?
Well, my understanding is that Tyler asked for refreshed estimates, given that it's been 2 years from the people who responded originally.
Okay.
I don't believe that the individual signs would exceed the $10,000 threshold for the RFP, but we're ordering 3 of them simultaneously. It's also my recollection that I think in 2016, it was probably a little later in the year when this came up, as we started wrapping up our capital expenditure checkoff list. And there may have been some discussion on whether or not to consider changing taglines, and it was just, at that point, it was like, well, and it was kind of put on hold. Whether or not there's any continued interest in that, or if there's any concerns about the tagline, again, you can either stick with what is, or just choose to go welcome, Village of Shorewood. If there is a concern about the tagline, I don't know the status of any of that. I just seem to recall that there may have been a question about whether or not to evaluate that in 2016, which may have been part of the kind of carry forward presentation into today.
Do these costs factor in typesetting for a tagline?
I don't think that those are relevant either way. It's just whatever we want to do.
Okay. I also, I'm worried that we're coming up to a tight budget and we still need a police monument sign that says where the police department is. And so I don't know if.
That's in the budget, and my understanding is that Chief Nimmer is independently investigating that.
I'm just saying I would if I had to choose, like I would rather fund that at the moment.
They're both funded,
They're both funded in 18.
yes. These signs, potential monument sign at the police department, as well as I think there's one other sign that may be potentially funded.
Oh, I don't remember the police monument sign.
Yes.
And I know that there has been discussion about the installation of the police monument sign in conjunction with Phase 2B, which is rounding completion at this time.
So if we approve What'd you say? So it's during phase 2B?
Yeah, there hasn't been a desire to install the sign yet because that side of Wilson Drive still has to undergo a significant amount of construction, so they wanted to delay any type of install just to accommodate for that to occur first, which is the update, I guess
Wasn't it like 27,000 or something?
No, well, that was for all signs, including these, the monument sign, and one other sign in the 2018 budget.
Oh, okay, so
Well,
including these and
yeah.
these.
Yes.
Okay. But,
So can I ask, and I'm sorry if I'm interrupting a conversation, so is the proposal to have signs that say nothing or that say welcome to Shorewood? What is the proposal for the sign?
we don't know yet.
When when the assistant manager had prepared the information, he had advised that there was some discussion regarding the tagline that occurred prior to this year. And that if there were concerns with having a tagline on the signs, that they could merely be the logo, welcome to the Village of Shorewood, with our logo.
But the way it's designed, half of it would be blank. I mean, unless we redesign it, right? Would you extend the tree to make it taller?
So my understanding is that these are signs that were, this is the Hubbard sign.
Yeah, no, the one to the right. So can I just go back to while you're looking at that, for Mark, so if you're saying that we budgeted 27,000 for 4 signs, we will not be able to buy the police department sign according to these estimates. If that's correct, because it would be, at least, it'd be 30,000 for the cheapest, for 3 of these.
Aren't 3 of those coming in at $9,000? That's $3,000 each?
Oh, is this not each? You're saying this is,
That's for all 3 signs.
okay, so we have the monument sign, and the monument sign for the police department, I thought they were right around 20.
I can't say what the chief has been exploring. I just don't have that information. I think it was 12,000 in the budget,
Okay,
I think.
that seems,
And that would be based off of the similar style that we have in front of the fire department.
I'm just thinking it might have to be a little bigger because it's a faster road, so usually. All right. We're just looking for did you ask? What are we waiting for?
I was trying to search for the police department documentation.
Is there a motion?
To approve. Mhm.
Oh, there hasn't?
There's a motion and a second.
What is the motion?
All right, the motion is trustee Maher moved, seconded by trustee McKay, to authorize staff to purchase 3 entrance signs and installation from J. Ewens Designs in the amount of $13,307.
And I didn't ever get an answer as whether the signs are gonna have the tagline or not.
I don't know if that's been answered yet. I think they're still looking.
No, it's up to the board.
Oh, it's up to the board, direction.
Yeah, but then if you take the tagline off,
Welcome to Shore.
well, I'm hearing you, trustee Mento.
I also have a question about the one for Wilson Drive, because we have a landscape plan, and I'm not sure how that fits into the landscaping that we've discussed in some detail. And, at one point, we were shown a picture of like a big rock kind of thing, and I don't know if that was, so I'm a little hesitant about the Wilson Drive one, just because that's part of a larger improvement project for that particular area. So I just wanted to raise that question.
My concern is if we just go with, we don't have a tagline unless we want the old one. And so if we just take it off, does it say, welcome to Shorewood? Do we just stretch the tree out? Do we just have it blank on the bottom half?
I think that we would just have it readjusted and, you know, maybe down a little bit, and maybe just recentered, you know, I feel fairly confident in Tyler and the design of the sign that we would just,
Well, it can't get wider.
no, it doesn't need to get wider, but you can center the tree and you can, yeah, I mean, it can be a little bit bigger and,
All I'm saying is that if you keep the dimensions that we were quoted on for the sign,
Mhm.
actual sign, the Shorewood fits the width, so you can't make it wider, you can.
yeah, but you can make the tree a little bit bigger and you can adjust it
Yes, you
down.
can
and
redraw
can-
this tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And then there's just a little bit more space above the tree and a little bit more space below the blue.
And I think that's water, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So it kind of sounds like none of us really want the tagline on the signs. So maybe we, you know, maybe what we want to vote on is if we amend the motion to say, subject to there being no tagline on the signs, maybe that would be something that, I think that's probably the question that's in front of us. So can I amend the motion to add it subject to no tagline being on the signs? Or I move to amend the motion to add it, subject to there being no tagline on the signs.
Second that.
So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I have one thing. I just want to make it known, I'm okay with that. I'm uncomfortable with the Wilson Drive design and location. I'm not clear on that. The other two I feel pretty confident about. My biggest concern is that if it is in fact that we budgeted a certain amount for these signs and the police sign, I just want to make it clear that I don't plan to vote for more money for the police monument sign. Like, this is what we budgeted. I'd like to know that if they're both moving forward, that we're just gonna, the remainder is what's gonna be left for the police sign. So with that, any other discussion? If not, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Nay. So motion carries 6-1.
Amendment carries.
Amendment carries 6-1, I apologize. And now we will restate the amended motion.
Trustee Maher moved, seconded by trustee McKay, to authorize staff to purchase 3 entrance signs and installation from J. Ewens Designs in the amount of $13,307, subject to no tagline included in the signs.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. Motion carries 6-1. Thank you. Next item for discussion is to consider future village board meeting dates. Rebecca.
There have been requested, if you've seen some responses to emails today, that discussion has continued. If you'll all recall, we had approved and amended as a board on a couple of occasions, dates laid out in the annual vision planning calendar. We had 3 sessions scheduled, of which to start budget discussions earlier in July. And those were deferred due to the need for additional and hopeful conclusion on prioritization. We're now at a point where we need to begin budget, and there's been concern relative to the amount of time and availability that we've had thus far in order to engage in budget discussions. To attempt and accommodate for some additional time, we are suggesting or offering the opportunity to meet on August 20th, which is a meeting that we were otherwise intending to cancel at the request of the board. and wanted to have some discussion with the group on how to proceed with that. I think the intention of everyone is to really just try to come together and to start the budget discussion. One of the challenges for me is that the board has agreed as a group in terms of what the schedule was going to be like, and now there's been a request for those changes, so I'm happy that we have this opportunity as a group to kind of figure out how we're going to proceed with that. In addition to that, there were some suggestions to get together the week of September 10th to potentially have a meeting with our legal counsel in closed session relative to the Lount Groundy suit to provide some more information. You had heard by way of my email correspondence on Friday that Attorney Beyer has suggested not meeting specifically to review the protocol for the public hearing with St. Roberts, but to obtain a memo or receive a memo from him outlining what the protocol is, and I'm sure when he has an opportunity to come back into the room, he can speak to that. And then also looking forward to our regularly scheduled meeting at the end of August to discuss the long-range plan at this time. So wanted to have that discussion with the group to see what would be amenable